चैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। रूपं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So what is the verse we are supposed to discuss today, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. 9.4.6. Okay, 9.4.67. Okay, thank you. Let us start. 9 point. Yeah, I can speak something about it, not much, but something I can speak. So we are Canto 9, Liberation. 9.4. Ambarish Maharaj offended by Durvasa Muni. Text 67. Who is speaking? The Lord is speaking. Yeah, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana. Durvasa Muni. Matsevaya pratitante Salokyade Chatushtayan Nechanti Sevaya Purna Kuto Anyat Kala Viplutam Matsevaya Pratitam Te Salokyade Chatushtayan Nechanti Sevaya Purnaha Kuto Anyat Kala Viplutam. मत्सेवया प्रतीतं ते सालोक्यादि चतुष्टयम् नेच्छन्ति सेवया पूर्णा कुतो अन्यात् कालविप्लुतम् Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my loving service are not interested even in the four principles of liberation, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya and Sarishti. Although these are automatically achieved by their service. What then is to be said of such perishable happiness as elevation to the higher planetary systems? Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur has estimated the value of liberation as follows. Mukti Swayam Mukulutanjali Sevate Sman Dharmartha Kamagatayah Samaya Pratikshaha. Bilva Mangal Thakur realized that if one develops his natural devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukti stands before him with folded hands to offer all kinds of service. In other words, the devotee is already liberated. There is no need for him to aspire for different types of liberation. The pure devotee automatically achieves liberation even without desiring it. The idea of liberation is a very fascinating idea because everyone wants to break free out of their bonds, out of all kinds of bondages and entanglement. One time Radheshyam Prabhu was doing morning Nagar Sankirtan in the Malpe beach. And some devotees, some gentlemen, they saw him, they caught him. They said, Swami, Swami, please come here. They caught hold of him. They said, oh, we are having a gathering. You please come and inaugurate the gathering. And you can speak 5 minutes also. So Radheshyam agreed. They went. So in that gathering inauguration, what was there? They had brought a lot of pigeons in cages. And they asked Radheshyam to open the cages. Radheshyam opened the cages one by one. Everybody flew off. Many of them, they flew off. Everybody was clapping. The again thing. That was the inauguration. And then Radheshyam was speaking. So why is everybody clapping? Because that symbolized liberation. Liberation out of all entanglement, out of all bonds. So that's a very fascinating idea. That's a very fascinating idea. The liberation, that break free out of all bonds, nothing binding, nothing making us slave, nothing entangling us, no more engagement. So that's a very fascinating idea. But the reality of this world is, in this material world, by any material juxtaposition, it is impossible to achieve liberation. That Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 3, clearly Lord Krishna explains that any sort of work in this material world will only progress towards one direction, degradation. There is no other directionality. Progress, motion in this world is always towards degradation. So liberation is impossible, forget it, in this material world. So this material world runs on the engine of, from Tattva point of view also we can understand the material world runs on the engine of the three modes. Where is the question of liberation? And these modes do not resolve, they entangle further and further, thus creating deeper and deeper and newer and more intense kinds of entanglements. Which is what we can see in the modern day world happening. As time is passing, the entanglements of people are increasing day by day. When we were small children, there were no mobiles, there was no internet. There was no common access to internet. That's the point. No mobiles, no internet, no laptops. Life was very nice. Because even if one wants to degrade, there are not enough opportunities to degrade. Where to degrade? As soon as morning 8 o'clock happens, the teacher catches hold of the people till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. As soon as that happens, you're supposed to reach home. If you don't reach on time, you reach late, mother is there to question. Father is there to question in the night. Where was the question to degrade? No much opportunities. But these opportunities to degrade have become 1,000 times because of internet and smartphones. So especially pornography addiction has become so rampant, 1,000 times more rampant. And after this invention has become common scale in this world. So that's why many times when Acharyas speak strongly about technology, we should understand why, because it poisons the lives of people in such a way. Because this is technology based on the material plane, based out of the material plane. Therefore, it is very poisonous, very, very poisonous. So, liberation in this material world not possible. Although it's a very fascinating idea, but it is not at all possible. Any directionality, Lord Krishna has already declared, Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, Lord has already declared that any kind of motion, any kind of activity will go only in the direction of increasing vices, increasing entanglement and degradation. That's it. So where is the question of liberation? Material world is a progressive, becoming more and more entangled. So therefore one may say that okay, it is probably only an ignorant person or only a fool can seem to be liberated or do whatever they like to do. Why? Because if one is having some sense, then one can make sense of the entanglements which this world is offering. So therefore, it's a very great lesson for devotees also, that although liberation from the pangs of the three modes and thereby the agonizing tribulations of this material world is very much wanted, but it is not going to be very easily achieved. So Bhagavatam is giving only one-way solution to be able to realize liberation or revelation. So this liberation does not work out by artificially struggling with it. There is only one way by which the liberation works out, which is being highlighted in this canto, or which is being highlighted in this chapter, in this particular verse, or in this particular series of verses the Lord is speaking. And the Lord is speaking, the liberation only works out by one way. And that one way is, the only way is to go on being excessively absorbed and busy in Krishna's service. To shut out all the material outlets and to be so fully engaged in Krishna's service that there is no time to think. There is no time to sit. So actually, if we can become so busy in Krishna's service, there's no time to eat, sleep. That's the most fortunate position we can be in, because in that most fortunate position, we become impenetrable to the infection of Maya Shakti. But if one becomes lax and slack in one's Krishna conscious services, Maya will infiltrate very badly. And thus, unless one becomes seriously engaged in Krishna's service, fully engaged in Krishna's service, the struggles for material existence, the struggle against the vices is never going to end. So the duet against Maya Shakti is not a game of table tennis. That okay, even if we are scoring low, we are on the go. So we can be slow. No, it's not a game of table tennis. That okay, one match, no problem, next match, slowly we are learning and we can increase and we can rise and we can understand the tactics and we can give a counter fight and so on and so forth. The whole material world is trying to make this mistake. This is Maya Shakti on the other end. No understanding of any tactics is going to work out. People think, let me work out strategies, how to impress people, how to appeal to people, how to is going to work out actually. When it comes to this material world, so this is gruesome warfare. This is not a game of table tennis. The only thing which works out is in this gruesome warfare is we can change our team. We can change our team. That's the only thing. So there are no. So there are three aspects in this warfare. One is Maya's side, one is Krishna's side, and one is the side of the false ego. The Aham Mameti. So we are standing from our own flag that I am great and I can prove myself and I can lord over whatever I survey. And therefore we are trying to snatch things off Maya Shakti, and therefore Maya Shakti is giving us a tight slap in retaliation. And that is the duet going on. So when we are trying to exploit Maya Shakti for our own self-gratification, gruesome warfare is going to happen, and Maya is not going to allow us. Sometimes some flavors for a transient period of time, but every flavor Maya Shakti will ensure that she will disflavor. Why? Because that she will not allow any living entity to exploit the resources of this material nature permanently for Krishna for a long time, for Krishna, for one's own sense gratification. But when one changes to Krishna's side, then it becomes, then everything becomes a drama. Then it is no more a warfare, then it's a drama. The difference between a drama and warfare is what? In warfare, bloodshed and lot of pain is guaranteed. And the Shastras ne Acharyas proclaim that in this warfare against Maya, nobody can win. Maya is as powerful as Krishna. Mama Maya Duratya is as powerful as Krishna. Nobody can win. But when one becomes Krishna's side and says, no, I am not false ego side. I am Krishna's side. I want to serve Krishna. Then life becomes a drama. There's no more a warfare. So in a drama, the beauty is in a drama, the result is pre-decided. In the drama, in the drama, the result is pre-decided. And everyone is going to win. That is also pre-decided. Why? Because it's a very powerful drama. Everybody gets the award in the drama, is it not? If it is if it is a film, it's the best film award, everybody gets the award. No, it is if it is a nice film, even the villain will get award. The actor, supporting actor, supporting actor, everybody get award. So if it is very nice, so but it is going to be dramatic. Dramatic means there is going to be lots of, so it is going to be very thrilling, and the experience is not at all going to be monotonous because it's a drama. It is going to be dramatic. There is going to be suspense. There is going to be thrill and everything. But everything becomes adventurous. And why everything becomes adventurous? Because at the end, everybody knows that there is going to be victory. The devotee may be undergoing so many troubles. Everything is an applaud. Why? Because in the end, the Lord is going to pick up all his devotees and lift them up and glorify them. So therefore, struggle for Krishna is such an honor and such a joy. And that is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. Yesterday we were reading that Tumhara seva te jaito dukha saito parama sukha. So we were singing Atma Nivedana yesterday. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so beautifully talking about Atma Nivedana, and he's saying, Tumhara seva te jaito sukha saito parama sukha. So why it is sukha? You may say, oh, there is struggle, there is insecurity, there is struggle, there is everything. Actually, ultimately there is no insecurity. Because a devotee knows that I am serving Krishna. Whatever happens, I am going to go back to God. And so the devotee has no doubt about that, because I am struggling Krishna. Even if I die for Krishna, I will wake up to the eternality of the spiritual world. So there is, and therefore there is fun in struggling, and and sometimes this mystery materialists can never understand, that even if a devotee is losing and even if a devotee is failing, a devotee is still ecstatic, and they are not able to understand why. Yeah? Because the devotee is understanding, you take whatever you want to take from me, no problem. I am going to be rewarded by Krishna later. So it doesn't matter. So failure doesn't matter. So I'm going to say, okay, how can one be ecstatic in failure? You know? That is Krishna consciousness. Because it is dramatic. It's no more a warfare. It's no more a warfare, it becomes a drama. There's a lot of difference between a drama and a warfare. So we should not consider it to be the same. We make a great mistake when we think that it is the same. Because in a warfare there will be bloodshed. In a drama there is no bloodshed, you know. There is only red ink packet, you know, which will be exploded, you know, and some red ink comes out, you know, or some red, you know, liquid comes out, you know. There is no bloodshed. Everything is dramatic, you know. So, so that is a point. Everything is dramatic. So Krishna gives everything. Now we say, oh, so everything is dramatic because Krishna will give full strength to a devotee. Just like Hanumanji, his tail was on fire, but Mother Sita's blessings, he was feeling it very cool. She was feeling it nice. She was laughing, you know, because he was feeling cool, you know. And then he was wondering, "Arey, whole Lanka is on fire and ablaze, and everybody is crying, and I'm feeling very cool. What's the problem?" So then he realized, talking Mother Sita's blessings. So it was fun for him, you know, like that. Similarly, a devotee may suffer apparent physical problems also, but Krishna will give the ability of full consciousness to such a devotee. Nothing to worry. So one can be ecstatic. One can be ecstatic in any situation. And so that is Krishna consciousness. And that is why the Lord is speaking in this verse today that a devotee, he doesn't want even liberation. The so-called liberation of Sarupya, Samipya, Sarishti. Because one is already serving Krishna, and by serving to Krishna one is already liberated, and that is the only way to be liberated. Whereas this Sarishti, some of these liberation like Sarishti especially is very dangerous, because if you go to the Brahma Jyoti, you have nothing to do, you have no job. What will you do? How much one can roam around and take selfies? So there is a limit to selfies, like that. Like once in a year, one goes to some coastal area, one can take selfies. Every day, one is staying there only. Where what to see? There is nothing new to see. No? The same thing. What selfie one will take? No? That is the point. No? Like people come to Dham Darshan IIT. No? They're taking selfies dedicated to service of the nation. You are staying there only with the service of the nation. How much dedicated one will become? No? One day is fine. Isn't that? That is the whole point. So the so therefore Sarishti is nothing new. So, but the only joy comes in Krishna's service, because even the obstacles become dramatic because a part of a drama. So one is enjoying the new script and the newer and newer scripts actually, and therefore a devotee wants to go on in the mission of the Supreme Lord, never to come out of it. Never to come out of it. Yes. Yeah, mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. So let's stop here for today. Do we have any questions? Yes, Hari Bol. Okay, the question is technology is not a problem, our minds are polluted, so but technology is making our life very easy. So how to understand that? Yeah. You see, modern day technology comes with inherent poison in it. So it's not about polluted mindsets only, it is about the environment also. So that is the point. It is all about environment also. Now, as the decades are passing by, the degradation in people's lives have become much more rampant. In our preaching, we are encountering in value education, in tribal preaching, we are encountering children of age 10, age 12, who have done illicit sex, homosexuality also, and hetero also, and who have done pornography also. This type of things were unheard of in India. Uh, these type of things were unheard of. I came to know in my first year of engineering there is some term called as pornography also. Towards the end of first year, I came to know its meaning. Uh, so it was these kind of things were unheard of, animalistic things. So this is all because of the rampant. Hmm, this is all because of the rampant advancement, which is materialistic, and because it is materialistically driven advancement, those the gadgets also are imbued with a tinge of poison, tinge or a binge, whatever we call as. But that whether it's a tinge or a binge, it is good enough to kill us. That is what we have to understand. So therefore, it is important on the point of on the part of a sadhaka not to be too much enamored by material gadgets, because these gadgets can be very addictive. How these addictions work? They will work exactly as Tarangarangani. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur speaks about Tarangarangani in Anishtit Bhajan Kriya. One may be peacefully, nicely serving. All of a sudden, this has come, and it creates unnecessary impediment, addiction, that kind of thing. Therefore, one has to be extremely careful while using it. If one is a bit on the fanatic side when it comes to these gadgets and all that, it is safer for one's Krishna consciousness than to be on the lenient side and oneself getting addicted and helpless, and a lot of time and energy getting sapped away. So, one may say, no, one can use it for Krishna conscious propagation and all that. Okay, but that Krishna conscious, like say for example, the YouTube and all that. So, for example, the YouTube, now the point is that for devotees, YouTube is not much required. YouTube is not required. So YouTube is not much required. But because now we may say, okay, we can create positive alternatives on the YouTube. We can create some Krishna conscious drama. Many devotees can speak Krishna consciousness. That is for new people who are addicted to YouTube. They are addicted to YouTube, so they are seeing some Krishna conscious alternative, or they are seeing some spiritual movie, or they are seeing some spiritual something. That is for those people who are addicted to YouTube, already anyways lost into it. So then in their lost condition, they found some Krishna conscious channel, and that can enliven and that can awaken them up to Krishna conscious reality. But now that one has become a devotee, it is not much needed. Why? Because there are hundreds of devotee channels also. Somebody is making drama, somebody is giving some demonstrations, somebody is giving some PowerPoint, somebody is giving some animation, and so on and so forth. And what is going to happen is that now because this YouTube is addictive, what is going to happen is that and people get addicted. Even devotees get addicted to all these devotee YouTube channels, all these devotee YouTube channels, and then no, and, so, no, and some devotees are there on the no, indirect side of preaching also. Then very easily one crosses to the indirect side, and when one goes on the indirect side, one sees there are some more players, then one gets excited here and there, one starts roaming around, and roaming around, one can go to slowly areas which are outside of Krishna consciousness. So because that addiction actually takes over, person gets crippled, so much time gets wasted in that. How many times one has like even devotees are spending 4, 5 hours per day, 3, 4, 5 hours per day on the internet. It is a little sorry. It's addiction actually. It is addiction. How many times we have read Srila Prabhupada lectures? We have heard Prabhupada lectures. How many times we have read Bhagavatam? How many verses of Bhagavatam we know? So what need is there to fluff around here and there? So therefore, this technology is a bit dangerous in the overall sense. So especially if one is if one is having a weakness, one should completely abstain from it. Krishna consciousness will go at triple the speed. So that is the point. So we have to be very careful against it. Very careful against not to be too much enamored, because like this metal world keeps coming up with newer and newer flavors, which are going to be more and more lethal in terms of creating addictions. That is the point. Therefore, we have to be careful. Okay, as a preacher, one may take a risk of giving Krishna conscious content for those who are anyways addicted and lost. But as the devotee, one should be extremely careful. That's it. The eternal principles will always be eternally victorious. Prabhupada gave us the eternal principle of book, of preaching. Book distribution is the eternal principle of preaching. No, that will always remain glorious. We reach out to people, or when we stand, then people understand, and Krishna triggers their heart. They come, they get connected. That's a very powerful way. That will always be a very powerful way. Prabhupada has already taught us that. So other things, yes, we can use, but with great caution. Understanding that it has permanent embedded poison, because it was built in a poisonous atmosphere with a poisonous mindset. These things are not built as creations of pure devotional service. They are built as creations of sense gratification. So there is inherent poison associated with them. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here for today. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.